Hello guys, welcome to another WWE review. Going to be reviewing night one of WrestleMania 42, which is just finished about 20 minutes ago. Oh boy, fucking hell. What can I even say, man? Let's not beat around the bush here. Let's not avoid the elephant in the room. This show was completely ruined by the corporate greed of TKO. Fuck TKO. Fuck them hard. They need to sell this fucking company now because what the fuck did I just watch? How the greatest show of the year, the greatest stage, WrestleMania, the place of legends, the night of champions, the pinnacle of sports entertainment, as they say. How the fuck can you give the performers no time? No fucking time. Before we get into it, I want to look here on the Wikipedia page. The time stamps have come out for the matches and how much they went on for. This is a prevailing problem of this show. It's epidemic across all of WWE at the moment. But I thought WrestleMania at least, the show where they want to get all load of the talent, showcase them so much that they made it 2 fucking nights. I thought they would at least be given time. Right. First match. The Usos and LA Knight versus Vision and IShow Speed. Went 7 minutes, 10 seconds. According to this, it may be updated in time. I see one that's already changed from what I'd seen earlier on Twitter. So we'll see. But officially, that went 7 minutes, 10 seconds, according to this. I actually thought it went a bit longer, but that's what we're going off now. Drew McIntyre vs. Fatu, 14 minutes, 10 seconds. The women's tag match, 8 minutes, 35 seconds. AJ Lee defending the IC Championship against Becky Lynch, 8 minutes, 15 seconds. Rollins vs. Gunther, 15 minutes, 45 seconds. Liv vs. Stephanie Becker, 9 minutes. On Twitter earlier, it said it was 6 minutes 50 seconds. I feel like it's been pushed up to 9. It might have been 6:50 for all I fucking know. God only knows. The main event, 22:55. What the fuck was that? A 4-hour show? Like, let me tell this shit up. Let's look at this. Quick maths. I'm not going to add the seconds, but let's add 2 minutes at the end. Let's say. 7, 14, 21, 20, plus 8, 29, plus 8, 37, plus 15, 52, plus 9, 61, plus 22, 100, plus 22, 83. 1 hour, 23 minutes wrestling. Let's add the 2 minutes. 1 hour, 25 in a 4-hour show. The show went on 4 hours. Fuck them. You could blame ESPN, maybe. The show is so fucking stop-start that it's hard to keep interest throughout it. I'm not one of these people. I am an older head. I'm not one of these young generation with a fucking goldfish memory span or attention span. But fucking hell, man. The pacing is just ridiculous. On one hand, you have AEW, who don't know a limit. Every match goes fucking 25 minutes. They have 13 match card. The show goes on for 5-6 hours. And by the end of it, I didn't even watch that shit. By the end of it, I'm sure they're all fucking drained. Maybe I should end up watching it. TKO was pushing me more towards fucking AEW because it's the complete opposite on WWE. But you know, at least in AEW you get action. I cannot fucking believe I've just watched. I mean, maybe I should. Elimination Chamber, 25 minutes each match. Was it 20 for the win? Whereas you had 25 minutes of entrances, it's the same thing here. They waste so much time showing celebrities. I don't know who the fuck they are. I'm not American. I don't give a shit about these random fucking American sportsmen in sports that only America gives a fuck about. They show Tyrese Halliburton, to name I've actually heard of, but then a bunch of fucking randoms. Oh, look who we've got in the arena. There's blah, blah. Who the fuck cares, man? I don't care. I'm here to watch Randy. I'm here to watch Cody. I'm here to watch Liv. I'm here to watch Stephanie. I'm here to watch fucking Drew McIntyre. And you're showing these random people wasting time. Then they have the entrances. Oh, fucking hell. Cody and Randy's entrances took about, it must have been 15 minutes total. Oh, and Pat McAfee had to have an entrance because, of course, he. That's longer than any other match was given on the fucking card, a 7-match card, and you went 1 hour 25 in a WrestleMania, bro. I've done these reviews before. I've said this many a time, and I hate saying it, but I grew up in the Attitude Era. I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era. I grew up watching 2-hour shows that Vince produced, Raw and SmackDown. You got way more substance out of that. They had ads as well. But this is all the show was. It's ad breaks. It's every time as well. It's Raw, it's SmackDown, it's littered with it. It does fucking ads with some wrestling interspersed. That whole time you can do other stuff. What did we not have today? We didn't have backstage segments, we didn't have pre-match vignettes that much. They did some. We didn't have backstage interviews. They used to do PLEs. You'd have Rocky come on between the second and third matches and cut a great promo, as the Rocky used to always do later on for the main event. You didn't have anything like that because there's no fucking time. I want to stress here, I do not blame, I feel so sorry for the performers. Not a single person tonight in that show, on that card, I'm going to have bad words for because they're not given time to do anything. This is supposed to be a review. I did take notes for the first couple of matches. And after that, I was like, what the fuck is there to review? There's no time. They've given nothing. I'll try my best to recap the night's events, but the vast majority of my time, I'm sat there watching ads. Apparently, in the international versions, the Netflix production of this show, especially in my country, the UK, between the outbreaks, you were shown 5-minute clips here and there of this new Hulk Hogan documentary to do. So a lot of people were memeing on Twitter because I spent half the time on fucking Twitter because I'm not sitting there doing fuck all while ads are on. It forces you onto your phone. It forces you to do something else. Perhaps I might change the channel. They don't think of the viewer. You've got to hook the viewer, man. You've got to keep them. I said the same thing about Elimination Chamber, which is also egregious. It's getting worse. TKO needs to fucking sell. Because all they're about is the money. The commercialization of it. Lads plastered all over the fucking ring apron. I don't know what to say anymore. I do not know what to say. This is not the wrestling I grew up with. I returned at the start of last year. They returned to Netflix. And it became really accessible for me to watch. I didn't actually see the Hogan stuff because shortly after, as happenstance, if this happened years ago, I could have watched the product more accessibly. I got one of them dodgy sticks and I could get streams. My stream was from ESPN itself. So I got basically the American feed and the ad breaks. It's just nothing. It's just a WrestleMania Logan. Be back soon. The fuck? Sat there for 3 minutes. Okay. All right. You want a summary of this shit? I saw someone tweet some guy, mate. He's obviously in some, I don't know, Vegas time zone. Stephanie Vicker and Liv Morgan match ended at 8:45. The main event started, the bell rung at 9:30. 45 minutes between matches. What the fuck are we doing? I've not talked about any result. I should come on here with the review. The big story. Cody Rhodes retained. He retained the World Championship. That's not the first thing I said. First thing I'm ranting about is the fucking ridiculous pace. In fact, we're given next to nothing ads. Can you imagine paying for this shit? ESPN is on a subscription. I cannot believe. And the fans in the crowd, I feel so bad. A lot of people saying, oh, the crowd's a bit dead. It was for most of the show. There are parts I got up for. Paige returned tonight. Great to see her back. She's another Brit, so I'll always hold a soft spot for Paige. I wish her well. She is an OG legend of the Women's Revolution. She returned to a really good ovation. Rollins and Gunther had the match of the night. That was an absolute banger. They weren't given that long, but they were the second longest match in the card, and boy, did they make use of it. Great match. As expected, two great wrestlers. The crowd really got up for that. I feel like that was the only one, really, that felt truly WrestleMania. Though I did kind of overproduced, but I did actually like the latter half of Randy Cody, the main event. First half of it for me was pedestrian. Normally I wouldn't complain about that, but if it went 30, 40 minutes, like a WrestleMania main event should, fair enough. And Randy's in his how old's he? 45 or something. He's not going to go fucking hell for leather from the off. It's especially egregious though when that first 12, 15 minutes of the match they're not really doing too much. It is pedestrian, and that's longer than most other matches in the fucking card. Unfucking believable. Let me look at this shit. 4 matches. Oh, 7. Went less than 10 minutes. I said in my preview video for Mania, I did a recap of the builds. The build has been dog shit for the season. I did predictions. I said I don't like to come on here and just shit on the product. I feel like a lot of people do that sometimes. Sometimes they do it for engagement. I just give my genuine opinion. I say this as well as, and there is a degree of arrogance there, I guess, or, I grew up. It's true that I grew up watching the peak era. So I was conditioned to expect a certain quality. I feel like the honeymoon period of returning to it is very much worn off. I returned and there were a lot of shows that weren't great, but I'm getting used to the talents. I'm working out who's good, who's not, who should be what the booking should be. Getting used to the paradigms, the shifts in production. It was a hard crash course, man. I've gone 2 decades basically without watching it week on week. I'd kept up with it very much as an armchair, a casual since then, but it's getting worse. It's on a downward trajectory of just time consumed by nothing. Absolutely nothing. I also said in that prediction slash preview video that the build was so bad that I'm so disillusioned with the product right now. I feel like Chamber was a real fair sign of a breaking point for me. When you had entrances almost as long as the matches themselves. I said there, I wasn't really feeling the hype around the build up. It didn't feel like I didn't feel excitement. I did for the Rumble, big time. I even did for Chamber because I thought certain people might win, and in the end they did. Only when maybe this had been otherwise. To be fair, I kept myself busy today, so I didn't really think about Mania much until about half an hour before I was suddenly free. And I was just sitting there then waiting, preparing to watch it. Then the excitement did come. The show started and the excitement level went up. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm fucking teed for this now. Let's go. Mania Night 1. Let's see what you got. TKO. What can you do? What can you give us? It actually started okay. I didn't mind the first hour or so, but like I said, I'm not going to blame the participants, the performers, the talent themselves. They attributed themselves well as much as you could expect, given they weren't given much time. But there's no time really for anyone to majorly stand out. Second Gunther the exception. I thought Drew and Jacob did okay. But we'll get into it. Let's do the actual review then, I guess. Yeah, the overarching message here is TKO needs to fuck off. Sell the company. ASAP. They're turning it into UFC. That's all they are. It's more about the razzmatazz and the what is this? Less is more. Actually, it's fucking WrestleMania. Why are the ads on it to begin with? When they went to next, when they went to Netflix originally, I would have thought, oh, good, that means there's no advertising. But I'm blaming TKO. You could argue ESPN, but it's a consistent pattern. It doesn't matter who they're with, whether it be NBC or Peacock or whoever the fuck they've been with, the CW, USA. It's just ads after ads after ads after ads. Is that what all American TV is like? I don't think so. I think it's any more egregious than ads in other countries. This takes the fucking piss. Commercial mania with occasional wrestling. Hey. Fuck. God. It did feel like Mania at the start. Finally. It finally felt like Mania. You had the big open arena in the daylight, beautiful weather, as you'd expect, mid-April in Vegas. The arena actually looked more full than expected. A lot of reports had centered around how they'd only sold 40,000 tickets. It was very undersold. I think that arena could hold 80k, it said. John Cena was hosting the event. He announced later on the night an attendance of around 50k, I think he said. I can't believe that. They like to elaborate and exaggerate the numbers a lot. All these companies do. AEW do the same, TNA do the same. They love it. But I can't believe that. You could see noticeable blocks of empty seats, but then generally throughout the tiers and the stands, there were not really big gaps. There were a lot of fans there still. Maybe the slashing of ticket prices for 3 days, 25% off or 50% off, whatever the fuck they did actually work. Or maybe they were just handing tickets out to select people outside the fucking arena in the days prior by the end of it. Jesus Christ. I don't know. They were desperate. But it did feel like Mania atmosphere to me to start. First match, ISHO Speed was teaming with The Vision. That is Logan Paul and Austin Theory take on LA Knight and the Usos. Show began with the Usos coming out. Of course, they come out through the crowd. They eating away. That's another fucking 3 minutes of an entrance. What you expect? At this point, I'm just so fucking immune to it, man. Like I said, I grew up in the Attitude Era, bro. Vince would not waste time with this shit. The only person, even on fucking PLE, the only person who got this kind of time back in the day was The Undertaker. But that fit the character. He was the definition of aura. He was a dead man. He had the slow ambling entrance. It made sense. Instead, everyone gets fucking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes entrances nowadays. It doesn't fucking matter who you are. Usos come out, they do the yeeting. They go over to Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on commentary tonight. They're doing fucking this hoodlum looking Hey Brother slap with Michael Cole, who looked like a fucking mark. He was giddy, he was loving it. It was fucking. I thought he was going to come out in a tither, giggling away. Absolute mark. But apparently it was Michael Cole's 25th anniversary at WrestleMania. Cole is good. He's no JR. Far from it. He's no Gorilla Monsoon. He's no Bobby the Brain. But he's good. LA Knight then comes out in a 4x4, I think, with LA Knight plastered all over. It was like orange and blue. He comes out, joins his teammates. He takes one of the vests off, I think it was Jay. What's that one? And then the Vision theme plays. This big fucking, like, I mean, WrestleMania, they love the grandiose entrances, don't they? So, of course, they have to do it. This big, like, veil, this big sheet came down with the Vision's logo. I mean, there's such fucking obscurity non-entities in Raw nowadays. I didn't even fucking recognize it fit. The veil falls, and then you see Logan Paul and Austin Theory there. They also had the tag belts. With them. And bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I paid such little attention during the belt. I've just been that not uninterested. So I got Theory in fucking tag champs. Watch it. I was like, hey, yeah, they're tag champs. Huh. ISHO Speed's there. He's got a fucking cape on with his Speed 7. Of course, he became famous by impersonating Cristiano Ronaldo, basically. He's a big Man United fanboy. He looked in good condition, to be fair. He's a lot more built than I thought he was. He did a six-pack now, he looked in good. Nick, I think by the end of this match, he was fucked. But fair play to him. I mean, he got in there. He gave it a go. They make their way down to the ring. Like I said, I didn't actually make notes for the first two matches. My attention was still there, and then it gradually got ground down by the sheer amount of fucking gaps between matches. Where I'm then going on my phone, and then it's hard to get me back. Oh, yeah, I'll come back for a 6-minute match. Oh, it's done. Alright, I guess we got another 20 minutes of our bits. Alright, I'm gonna make it fucking butty. I should say we began actually with John Cena segment before this match. Let's get into that bit. The green shirt guy from row. He's This motherfucker must be the richest man in the USA. How the fuck does he afford to go to all these programs? For about 8K for a fucking front row seat. And these fans have to sit through 2 hours of fuck all. I cannot believe. Cena comes out. He acknowledged in the build up in polarizing. And then he gave his whole, WrestleMania, big show, blah, blah. I have to say what he said. I have to remember what he said. You know the general sign. Cena played basically no role in the show. He came out for 2 segments. The first, it was just getting him on the show, getting a face there. I'm not going to criticize it. It's Sean fucking Cena. He can do what the fuck he wants. And he has a huge name. And it adds to it, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like back in the day, guest hosts, they would have some more backstage segments. They would at least play some kind of role. I'm expecting maybe that'll happen tomorrow. I think they'll do a segment with him and Danhausen. I'd be very surprised if they do. Yeah, he came out, did the intro, then we had that match. WWE, during the Vision and Speed entrance, they only did this once in the entire show. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. They cut to like a 3x3 grid of different camera angles. One looked like it was nothing. It was a nothing screen. And then the other two in the middle looked like the same fucking shot. Just filmed by a guy stood a meter to the right. The other guy. So I didn't see the point in that. But then there were other shots of like almost bird's eye view of them walking down the entrance, the Theory Pole and Speed this is. From behind, from front, showing the ring and the Usos, showing the commentators, showing the crowd, just different shots. Like that, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It was kind of unnecessary. It's kind of weird. That was the only part of the show this was on. Whatever. Maybe they just experiment different things. Anyway, they get out to the ring. Before the bell even goes, Usos started with a double super kick to go Paul and Theory. So the actual Speed's left on his own. Him and Knight started. Speed got a headlock on Knight at one point. LA Knight just completely no sells. He stands up and he walks around while Speed is off the ground, still holding on to his neck, trying to do a headlock. And Knight's just fucking walking around. Speed kind of gets down. They do the whole stare where he's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble now. They had a little back and forth. Speed ended up going up in the turnbuckle, trying to moonsault. Knight avoided it. Straight into a clothesline. It was kind of stiff. That was a, hey, buckle up, kid moment. At this point, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, it's going to be a long afternoon for young Speed. How wrong I was. Anyway. And I got distracted by Paul. Speed did a power slam. It's got a bit of a pop. I don't think we expect him to do too much in terms of athleticism. But the guy clearly has somewhat of an athletic build. Knight helps, of course, went up for him, does his power slam, then basically runs away, tags in Paul. And Usos and the Vision traded a lot after Knight had tagged out. A lot of back and forth. And then, before you knew it, the match was almost there. It was that quick. Like I said, I'm trying to recap the action, but it's hard when there's fuck all to recap. Before I knew it, Usos and the Vision had done a lot of back and forth, got moving out, and mainly Jimmy was in the ring, I think, with Logan. I feel like Austin Theory and Jey Uso were there in this fucking match. Speed found himself in the ring. Knight went for a BFT. He accidentally pushes Knight into Paul. Theory was just recuperating then, just standing up and sees it and started berating. He grabs LA Knight, starts berating ISO Speed. He's grabbing Knight in a headlock, a proper headlock this time. And he's saying, get him, hit the ropes, get him, get him. He then got pushed into Speed by LA Knight. Bam, turns around. LA Knight hits the BFT, gives the pin. Of course, it's Austin Theory who takes the pin. It's the only reason he's in the fucking Vision to begin with. Since he's joined, man, his role is just take the pin. Because they don't want Logan Paul taking pins. They don't want And they certainly don't want Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker taking it. So poor Theory, man. Poor guy. I guess it's better than Kieran. But more for me. The second LA Knight pinned him, both he and I were in a bit of shock. I was thinking, surely that can't be it. LA Knight seemed to get up, look at Speed, and look a bit pissed off. Look at him a bit shocked, as if like, the fuck? And I wondered, I was like, was Speed supposed to break up the pin there? Speed was just on his ass, but he was basically right next to him. LA Knight, you know, the average match length of the rest of the show quickly dispelled my delusions there. I was thinking, that can't be it. That was too fast. Well, fucking hell. Little did I know. Yeah, 7 minutes, it was over. He looks all pissed off. He's looking. I guess his look was supposed to be looking at Speed, like, oh, you just kind of let us win. His team was betraying him, basically. His team was berating him. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? You had one job. And that storyline would carry on. Knight rolls out the ring with the Usos. They're stood kind of on the edge of the ring. They're not going up the ramp just yet. They're celebrating. But Logan Paul, by this point, has got up, entered the ring, slapped Speed, knocked him onto his ass, drags him over to the announce table. He's saying the exact same as I've just said. So, what the fuck are you doing? You had one job. Yeah. Fuck you. Welcome to wrestling, bitch. Slaps him down, drags him out, puts him on the announce table, going for the dive. Just as he gets up to the turnbuckle, he got interrupted by LA Knight and Usos. You knocked him down. Oh, God. The Usos went for a 1D. Jay sends Logan up. We got up high, maybe higher than Jimmy expected. Jimmy just did not fucking connect. He barely did. I think he basically like brushed. He fucking got up. He brushed his cheek gently as he came down. His arm didn't get anywhere near fucking Logan Paul's neck as he went down. Logan just basically flapjacked from Jay. That looks shit. So I guess there is one occasion where I will criticise it before, but whatever, it happens. They then reverse the sell. Knight and Usos Knight mainly drags Logan Paul onto the announce table. He's holding him down, pinning him down like that. The Usos are saying to Speed, by the time he's on this side, hey, fuck this guy, get him. Speed looks really hesitant. He's selling it, or he did just kind of look worn out, to be fair. He looked knackered. He gets up. I thought he was going to just go off the turnbuckle, off the top rope, to be fair. But he actually went up on the pole, on the side of it. And then, again, fair play to him. He got a lot of height on this splash. He splashed Logan Paul through a table. Kind of swerved over 90 degrees to across his body. And it looked kind of clean. One thing that wasn't clean, to be fair, was the table break. The way it broke, it kind of looked like one of them where you land on it and it kicked back a lot before it buckled. Like it really kicked back on them, and they kind of took a bit of a violent roll across. I think they were both okay though. I'd written on my notes, match went about 10 minutes. That was my feeling. I still felt it was short, but yeah, apparently according to Wikipedia, it went 7 minutes 10 seconds. It was fine. They got their viral moment. WWE love this shit. Oh, we can show Speed jumping off the fucking turnbuckle pole onto Logan Paul. Any celebrity. I use that comment loosely because I have no respect for influencers or whatever the fuck, or these YouTubers, whatever. He does have a big crowd. He does have a big audience and fan base, Speed. So they love this shit. Whenever there's anyone like that, they get Logan Paul to it because it makes sense. If it's KSI, they do that. When it's Jelly Roll, they do Logan. Same deal here. It's kind of your rinse repeat. Every big PLE, your SummerSlam or your Mania or even the Rumble sometimes, you're going to have shit like this. Logan Paul's just there to usher in whoever the latest fucking novelty act is. Before it was worth, they did fine. I enjoyed it. I was sports entertainment. It was nice, harmless fun. But yeah, I just came out of it thinking, oh, that match felt a little short for me. I don't think there was much time for, especially the Usos and the Vision, to do much. I feel like Knight got his fair amount of action. He's probably the only one. But I was thinking, okay, well, it did have ISO speed in the match, though. And I know, I guess you could just have him tag in less. Maybe I should have realised it was going to go so fast by the fact he was tagged in and given a lot more action than I perhaps expected him to get in the first 7 minutes. But I thought that they paced it, maybe. Have him on the fucking ring apron, not tagged in more. When it did go short, I thought, oh, maybe it's just, conservation. He's just allowed to see stuff. But no, this was the pattern of mine, man. Unfucking believable. First hour of the show was shown on ESPN proper, ESPN's main channel. And I think the next match, even given how little time in general these matches were given in ring throughout the night, I think this match was rushed. Mainly to get a result before the hour was up. I don't think they wanted, how many people actually would sit at home and watch the first hour of WrestleMania and then not work the rest? I don't know. Do people ever do shit like this? Maybe there are people like that. Or, maybe there's a bar somewhere of ESPN main on where someone doesn't have control of the channel. The bartender does, or the licensee. And they might keep an eye on it and then the channel changes, whatever. For the sake of those people, I think they wanted a result within the hour. So you're not watching like 20 minutes of a match and then it gets to the business end and then bam, cut. Would maybe get people to go to ESPN, but I feel like they got a lot of bad PR for doing that. So I feel like this match was cut short in time. Despite a 7-minute opening match, when you had the John Cena segment, all the fucking aura farming entrances WWE loves, all this other bullshit, the ads, Michael Cole chatting our heads off. We got to show the celebrities there. By the time all this is done, this match didn't start till like fucking 22 the hour, 40 minutes into the show. It's this is 2026 pro wrestling, bro. What am I doing? I'm finding it hard to keep up with it. I thought both men did really well with what time they were given. What was it? 14 minutes, 10 seconds. Pitiful. Pitiful. I would expected the quickest match on the card to be this length. For a 4-hour show. 7-minute, the 7-match card. This was the third longest. By distance as well, the gap to fourth was huge. It was an unsanctioned match. Fatu entered with some like fire baton twirlers stood there. So his entrance was kind of cool. He was wearing looked like a camo gear with his wolf mask on his back. I'm thinking this is fucking GI Samoa Joe, this motherfucker. He comes out. Drew does his classic entrance. He comes out. I thought maybe they'd have bagpipes on and stuff. I feel like there was less grandiose main entrances this year as well. There's another thing. This stage and this set, everything just felt, I don't know, I wouldn't say low budget, but just a bit underwhelming. Here's what it is. Drew just comes out to his normal music. There wasn't even Broken Dreams or anything. He looks $1 million. He's got his fucking sword. He comes out. Before he can even get in the ring, Jacob Fatu does this a dive, a suicide dive through the ropes. And then beats on him on the outside. Bell lands when he goes. He assaults Drew around the ring, throws him over the timekeeper area. Start getting out tables. She's got a big cheer from the audience, of course. They love tables. The Slim Jim tables. He also got a load of chairs out into the ring, threw them in there, and then pulled out the toolbox. I like this. I like that it kind of played narrative in the match. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett and commentary sold it. He empties the toolbox. There's wrenches and there's all sorts. In the end, they only ended up using one weapon, which was the wrench. But he empties it full of loads of shit. And he's got the toolbox. He turns around towards Drew, who's kind of recuperating by this point. And he goes to hit him with it. Drew just falls back right into the floor. He's holding his hands up. Oh, fucking hell. He looks like he's seen a ghost. And I like that they were selling that, if you know. Drew McIntyre had 17 stitches when he was attacked with a toolbox and a load of tools by CM Punk in their famous Hell in a Cell match, Bad Blood 2024. Anger. You know, some kind of long-term narrative like that. It goes a long way. Anyway, Drew eventually avoids it. Um, he turned the tide, assaulted Fatu for a while, flung his head back onto the exposed metal of the ring apron, and Fatu's getting out all these tools. He's lifted the cover off. They have these kind of like metal grid bars. I think Drew was supposed to push his head back onto the edge of the ring apron, but it looked like he collided with one of those metal things. Kind of a bad landing, man. Who then Fatu's the half his body's under the fucking ring by this point. Drew grabs the legs, does the old bump, foot lean back into a big lift so that Fatu hits the underside of the ring. That looked less good. You clearly see if it kind of hit Fatu more in the torso, he comes out, he's like, hold his head. Oh, fuck. Of course he did this next thing. It's a Drew McIntyre. It's not WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre grabbing a phone off someone, whether it be his wife or this time it turned out it was his brother, constantly said, grabbed his phone, recorded a quick video, which has since been taken down, I think. Or it wouldn't show. I saw the tweet later on. It just said content not available. And then he makes a quick tweet. Back in the ring, Fatu managed to turn the tide. Did a pop-up Samoan drop. His pop-up Samoan drop was fucking beautiful, man. Jacob Fatu. McIntyre then got the upper hand. He set up a chair between the top and the middle ropes. Drew flew over the ropes, did a front top, took out Fatu by now on the outside. In the ring, Fatu then dodged a claymore, sent Drew into the chair that he'd sell. Because of course he did. Anyone who ever sets up a chair there, what do you expect? You're going head first and starting on the floor. This actually looked kind of bad. I didn't think it looked believable. Drew getting nowhere near to it. And then he just staggers away like he's fucking face planted this thing. Jacob then did a moonsault into a near fall. Did Tiffany Stratton copy this of Fatu? Or did Fatu copy of Tiffany Stratton? It is just the prettiest moonsault ever, straight up. I just love the idea that he uses the same finisher as someone who's so fucking polar opposite in presentation. He's just kind of like the Simone Werewolf, the savage guy. Tiffany's just like the Barbie, basically. But they both do a beautiful moonsault. I'll say that. Drew kicked out, and the commentators sold it as I don't think anyone's ever kicked out of that. Is that true? I was racking my brains, and to be fair, I can't think of another example of someone who has. But there must be. Surely Cody would have kicked out of it. He tussled a bit in the build up to Chamber. Someone let me know. Drew then, sorry, I was struggling to catch up on where I was up in my fucking notes. So. Drew then hit Fatu in the knee with a wrench, then hit him in the head and the eyes as well. Looked like he was trying to gouge his eyes out with the reverse side of the wrench. The ref, of course, admonished him for this. The ref was Dan Engel, Dan Engler, is it? Who the commentators again were quick to point out that Drew had quite a bit of past whip, shall we say. Drew then he made the ref take his belt off and folds it in half, kind of holds it as if he's about to whip this motherfucker. Jacob had over at it, gets up, super kicks Drew, hits him with two chairs. First one just can clean out of his hand, so he had to go and grab another one. Then he whipped Drew with the belt. Out of nowhere, Drew, bam, hits a claymore into a near fall, and thought that might be it. Fatu then set Drew up on the table. Drew rolled off and threw a chair at Fatu just as he's about to dive off. He's gone up into the ropes, not to do a moonsault, to do a front splash. He then pushed Fatu straight off onto a table. I'm not going to lie, I didn't realise he'd set up outside the ring. I didn't remember anyone setting this up. But bam, it was just magically there. Maybe a stagehand just set it up. Oh shit, they've forgotten. All right, let's set this up while the camera's on. But either way, Fatu kind of flipped over into it. It looked great. Fatu then managed to turn the tide once he got back in the ring by hitting Drew with the toolbox, which got Drew back onto the same table. Then he does go for a moonsault this time, and he hits it, and he wins the match. I put in the comments, match went about 15 minutes. My time estimation that time was more accurate. 40 minutes, 10 seconds. I had written at the time as well, didn't ever leave the ring area. No blood. Maybe due to being on ESPN. This match, if that is the case, if there were limitations through what ESPN would want to show, and as I said, my working theory here is that it was always going to be a match they wanted a result and time for before the hour was up. Would it not have been better to put this match on a little after? Put it on third? Move the women's tag match up or whatever the fuck? I don't know. Put it on fourth. Move Steph and Gunther up to second. For an unsanctioned match, man, yes, it was no DQ, but I don't know. I don't be critical because I think both guys, with what little time they were given, did well. I thought it was a good match. They both wrestled well. They're both very believable. This is one of the few success stories of this whole Mania season for me. I think both of them, the build up was good. The match kind of delivered. I say kind of because I blame Crazy, or I blame the TV companies, or whoever the fuck, the corporates, the suits. They're all the same. I blame them for shackling these dudes. Irony, actually, and a lot of the storyline about this is Drew making fun of Fatu being in chains in the past, been arrested. Their chains put on tonight. 14 minutes is not enough time to really do what I'd hoped and expected from an unsanctioned match. Bro, I thought this was going to go 30 minutes. Oh, my sweet fucking summer child. Young me of 5 hours ago. Had these hopes and expectations. That's an unsanctioned match. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be violent. It's going to be fucking this and that. No blood. No. I guess you could argue, no. WWE do this more sparingly. Normally, someone would come out and say stuff like, AW have the problem with this. Fucking, they love it. The sicko. They have the second match on the card. If people bleed, or if it's this kind of barnstorm or wild match, is that not bad for the rest of the card? In the main event, both Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes bled. Would that not detract from there? WWE do it so sparsely that I don't think it would amount so much here. I feel like the feud deserved it. The feud was one of real violence, both for their characters. You can believe in this match. I said this in a previous show. You can believe them both as like barroom brawlers. A Samoan and a Scot. Two of the toughest people in the fucking world. Scots are tough, man. Samoans are even tougher. As shown here, Fatu won. I don't know, it just felt a little like we were robbed of so much more. I have no doubt both men could have delivered more if you give them another 10, 15 minutes. Give them actual time. They were probably told, okay, you have 14 minutes to make the match. And they're saying, well, we wanted to go out and fight in the crowd and in the backstage areas and in the arena. You could even go out into the parking lot fight. But you can't really do that because then you're barely in the fucking ring. So the fuck can we do? All right, I guess we haven't got the time to wander around as the stipulation kind of suggested would happen. No, I guess instead we've got to confine the action to the ring, which is what they did. They never left the ring area at all. Unbelievable. Didn't even go through the crowd once. Didn't even go up the entrance ramp. I don't know. WWE, it's so often, it's just, you come out of matches and feuds and PLEs, and you know the talent they have at their disposal. It's an embarrassment of riches. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, great. I love them both. I'm invested in both of them. I was invested in this match. Give them more time, man. Let them loose. We saw what Drew could do in a match like this against Punk in the Hell in a Cell. We know what Fatu's capable of. I've no doubt if they were given another 10 minutes, they would have worked more into it. Maybe it was the ESPN hour limited them as well. Who knows? Probably a combination of both. But yeah, mixed bag, this one. I enjoyed the match. Thought both guys looked great, but felt like what could have been. It was. I would say it was a solid 7 out of 10, but it could have been 10 out of 10. Next up, the women's tag match. It was at this point I just kind of stopped taking notes. I had no intention of taking notes for this match anyway, because I knew it's going to be difficult to do it. When you have a fatal four-way women's tag match, there's so much going on. You can't really keep up with recapping what's happening and keep eyes on the match. Alexa Bliss was first out. I think Alexa, hands down, had the best look, the best outfit, the best attire of the whole night. By a fucking mile. She mogged everyone. Really interesting look. Her and Charlotte together did this kind of theme. Charlotte came out dressed as like a colourful butterfly, as she does. She comes out with the elaborate flare robe sculptures. Both of them look great. Alexa was dressed, it looked more like a White Hawk moth. So it's kind of like the moth and the butterfly. The real contrast, of course, in Alexa's a dark character. It's kind of like the emo. It's kind of like Wednesday and Enid vibes, those two. But I think it was extra noticeable tonight. But Alexa's look, whether it was just for the show or not, I don't know. Is that a sign of maybe a heel turn or something more? They've been talking a lot. They did it in a SmackDown show beforehand, which you didn't review the night before. They were talking, oh, whatever happens at Main, it'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And they've teased some tension, just done on and off since the start of the year. But she came out. She looked a million bucks. I mean, she always does, Alexa, to be fair. She had this pale makeup on, kind of dark lipstick, looked like residues. She looked like Girl from the Ring kind of thing. This real gothic kind of black and grey and white colours. Um, she had her hair down as well. She didn't have the pigtails. And black in her hair. No pink anymore. No red or whatever, blue, whatever the fuck else she's had in there in the past. This gave me vibes of like Dark Elixir. So keep your eyes on this. This might be something that comes out of this match in the coming days. I think the way they've been talking, it may well finally be a split of this team. And something else happened this night, which also makes me think this. But we'll get to that when the time comes. Speaking of memorable ring attires, Nikki and no, Nikki, Knight and Lash, the champions, came out wearing demolition masks. Demolition were in the Hall of Fame, I think. Long overdue. They deserve to be. I've not even touched on the Hall of Fame at all in any of these videos lately. So I guess I will do that really quickly. Deserved class. I don't think Stephanie McMahon should have been headliner. I think that's an insult to AJ Styles. Although I do love both of them. I have no qualms whatsoever. Stephanie McMahon going to Hall of Fame. She was a great on-screen character. Still one of the greatest women ever on the mic. I would put her right up there. Only behind probably Becky, Alexa, Trish, Tony Storm, Sherry Martel, that kind of caliber. Peak AJ. They're all good. Sid was finally in the Hall of Fame. Lovely. Love to see it. Sid was great. He was over wherever he went. Deserves it. Dennis Rodman got in. His speech was fucking insane. But I don't know what the fuck this motherfucker was on. He was off his hit. And then the immortal moment was Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. All deserved. All good. So Nia Lash came out with the demolition gear. Seemed very on topic. Bailey can't even get an entrance anymore. Nia Lash at least have their own tag team music. Charlotte and Alexa don't. They come out separate ones, but they're such big stars you kind of just expect that. Because you've got to have the aura form of the entrances. Bailey doesn't get her entrance. I mean, her theme's dog shit. I prefer her old one, unironically. Role model. And then she comes out and it's just bad. She comes out to Lyra's theme. They come out with the wings. They got the matching gear. They should have won this match. They did not. I actually don't mind the winners so much, believe it or not. Next out were Brie and Nikki. Now, if you watch my preview show, I said if Nikki is fit, I expect they're going to put the belts on the belters. If they're not, I think they'll have Nia Jax defend them. Well, Nikki was not fit, but Brie did compete because Nikki had a stand-in. Now, as a return of Paige, Nikki comes out with a crutch and a mic. And then she basically introduced Paige to take her spot. It was a huge pop. Really, really big pop. And I'm happy to see it, man. Paige has had controversy, yes. She's had a lot go on. She's only 33 still. Just fucking crazy, man. You think about it, like, it feels like she's been around forever. She was so young when she won the women's championship, and she was NXT and women's champion at the same time. Well, Divas champion. She was 21, I think, at the time. It's been a long journey. She had a lot of controversy. She had a lot of, bad times. She had a leaked sex tape. She had a well publicized abusive relationship with Alberto Del Rio, who's a piece of shit, well known. She's also had some controversial views herself. She got injured and had to retire. She was gone for 5 years, was it? She came back to AEW in what was mostly an underwhelming run. But now she's back where it feels like she belongs in WWE. And yeah, it was a great reaction. You could tell she was. I could see when she came out, big noise, and then she went over to some fans to kind of like slap hands. You could see her hand shaking. And at that point, I'm kind of happy to see it. At that point, I'm like, oh, I feel for her. I just want to give her a hug. You could tell how fucking nervous she was going out. Or maybe it was just exhilaration, adrenaline, I don't know. Yeah, she's back. They come to the ring. Michael Cole then tried to start saying that no one knew she was going to be here. That's what he said. And then the camera instantly cut to a dude holding the Page's back sign. It's fucking made me laugh. I popped at that bit. I was pissing myself. Unfortunately, it was spoiled. The dangers of being on the IWC on fucking Twitter. PW Insider yesterday ran a report. I saw this before SmackDown got underway, just before it. The Paige is reportedly signed for WWE. Paige is suggested to be earmarked to replace Nikki Bella in this match and get on the show. And they were right. So yeah, I think, man, if I hadn't have heard that report, it would have been so much better. It really would. I was not ready to believe it just yet, but the second I saw Nikki come out of a crutch, I was like, yeah. And then you saw a mic in a hand. Paige is it. It's a bit of a shame, man. I know these journos, it's kind of their job, and you run the risk of leaks if you go online, but why did you have to spoil it? Great moment. It was a big pop. It was one of the pops of the night, if not the pop of the night, honestly. It's just a shame. This match, it was so hectic that it's hard to recap. It really is. So I'm just going to go over certain moments that I remember. The problem with this piss take length of this show, and the multi-person matches especially were affected. Like I said earlier, I feel like Jey Uso, I barely saw him tonight. Did he do much? Not much. It felt mostly like Logan and Jimmy. Austin Theory, I don't remember him doing that much. But I'm not blaming any of these guys. They just weren't given the time. Same with these women. You have 8 women wrestling this match. They were given 8 minutes, 5 seconds. What the fuck can they do? I don't remember Bailey and Larry doing much. I don't remember Alexa doing much. Other than eat the pin, which I'm pissed off about as well. So why the fuck are we pinning Alexa Bliss after she went out early in the Royal Rumble and early in the Elimination Chamber first out? Did not realise this woman is the most over woman in SmackDown. But I don't remember Nia doing anything. Which is probably a good thing, to be fair, because she's old. I don't remember Lash doing much. Well, they do, actually. She got a big boot on Charlotte, and she did a finisher on Lyra, I think. And it got broken up by. This is basically towards the end, and this is all I really remember now. It got broken up by Paige and Charlotte. It took a while for Paige to get in the match. Restarted the match. She did double kicks on Lyra and Charlotte at one point. I always watch them with trepidation after the infamous Liv Morgan incident, which straight up knocked out Liv for like a 10 seconds, like kicking her full in the face like a dumbass multiple times. She misconnected with one of them, and you could see Liv, what the fuck? Kind of just groggy, and she just kept kicking her. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So I always watch these, especially the way she's doing it. You know, she's going from one to the next. I'm like, oh god, is she gonna kick one of them in the face or something? No, they were fine. But eventually, the crowd started chanting at one point, "We want Paige, we want Paige." Paige got tagged in for Hot Target, and she did a lot. She did look, I know it's not much to go off. 8-minute match. She was given maybe 3-4 minutes total in the ring out of it. But I thought she looked good for what little time she had. She ran over all her classics, all her classic signature moves. Looked the part. She didn't look overwhelmed or anything. No, there's always going to be question marks about how much she can keep up. Always be eyes on her neck. Same with Edge when he came back. Someone's been retired in the past from a serious neck injury. You're always watching them a bit on the edge of your seat, and oh god, I hope nothing bad happens to them. But she looked fine. Eventually, Lash had done her finisher on Lyra, went for a pin. Paige and Charlotte together broke up. They made sure Paige and Charlotte had a little moment to face off. I'm not entirely sure why, of all the competitors, it was those two. I guess Charlotte kind of represented a real face of the Divas Revolution. So did Bayley, though. Even Alexa, in some aspect, did. But Charlotte and Paige were given a stare off. Did they have much of a notable history compared to Paige and any other women? I didn't really know. I didn't hate it. It's what it just made me wonder. To be fair, the crowd did get up though. Crowd started. They were really up and down for this match, but they were mainly at the peak of excitement when Paige was in. They go back and forth. Charlotte eventually gets the better of Paige. She knocks her down, goes to go for a figure four leg lock. Paige kind of gets out with Charlotte. Paige goes for a finisher. Charlotte gets loose, then hits natural selection. By this point, Alexa she'd been knocked out in the ring a while back. She'd gotten up. And I knew it was coming. You could see her going to climb the turnbuckle. Charlotte pulled Paige across. All the other women are just out of the fucking match by this point. So it's just down to these two teams. Alexa started climbing up, getting in position for Twisted Bliss. And then out of nowhere, Charlotte Flair is stood on the ring apron, gets dragged, taken off her feet, heel swept by Nikki Bella, who was ringside for this match. Nikki assaults Charlotte across the back with a crutch. Alexa's kind of looking across like, oh shit, should I help her or what? That distraction was enough that eventually she did turn around and think, oh, fuck it. Went for the Twisted Bliss, but it gave Paige time to recover, put her knees up, caught Alexa with the knee, gets up, gives Rampage to Alexa. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Brie Bella and Paige. Now, it was a big emotional moment for Paige. Like I said, I always liked Paige. I always did. She was one of those women for me that really did stand out at that time. She was a huge, underrated part of the Divas Revolution, man. Before the Horsewomen came along, even, she was the girl. Really. She was the anti-diva. It's kind of sad what she became in a lot of ways afterwards. And I'm not being harsh here, but when they put her on Total Divas and stuff, I don't understand that. It went against her gimmick. She was the anti-diva. She was the old girl. She was the alternative in general. to the divas. The problem with this is, because of that, I don't mind Paige winning this so much. I still think Bayley and Lara, my head says, should have won. My heart wanted Charlotte and Alexa to win, because Alexa's my favourite. But can't begrudge Paige this moment. She got really emotional. Nikki comes in, Brie comes in, they're all celebrating. You could see her crying. And you could tell how much it meant to her. But at the same time, having Paige as champ means Brie as champ. I do not care for the Bellas, man. I do not give a flying fuck. Paige was part of the women's revolution, like Charlotte, like Alexa, like Bayley, that was signifying a change from the dog shit Divas era. Paige was a Divas champion, yes. She was technically in that era, yes. But she was the bridge, along with AJ Lee, who was another one who was so much better in that era. Caitlyn was another one who was so much better in that era. Natalia, Naomi. There were some who better than her. But, you think of the rest of the Divas era, your Kelly Kellys, your Laylas, your Michelle McCools, your Bellas. No thanks. I don't understand why as well. There's such a WWE thing. They love them moments. Bayley and Lara, Shawn and Alexa, even Nia and Lash. You think of the story, the time they've invested, the amount of matches, the amount of work they've done throughout the year, and then they lose to a team that was made on the fly. What the bookers do in that regard? It's difficult, man. I'm in two minds. It was for the moment. I like Paige a lot, so I'm not going to go on about it too much, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't have had any problem with Bayley and Lara winning. At least Nia and Lash lost the championship, because that was the worst thing that happened to the tag titles. Utter momentum kill for the entire division the second they put on them. It was a failed experiment. They should cut it. Release Nia Jax. I don't even care anymore. I respect what she's done in the ring, in terms of her accomplishments and her longevity at least, but just fucking release her. She's holding Lash down. I don't even sold on Lash yet. She's a slightly better Jade. And that's not a compliment. Jade is shit. Split them. Maybe Charlotte and Alexa will split up. They've kind of been talking like they might. I'm wondering now whether Alexa's been told, alright, you're going to go heel after Mania. We're going to give you a singles run. I'm wondering whether she will go and take the US belt, for example. I think the time is coming for them to split. So maybe that is why she kind of went for a darker look tonight. She had her hair down for once. She had black in her hair. She looked different. She looked more like Dark Alexa used to. Where did Bayley and Lara go in? Charlotte and Alexa will be fine, I think. Bayley and Lara just... What the fuck are they doing? That's another reason why I'm looking at this result and I'm a bit like, do we need to get, another one, the discrepancy back. Paige comes back, she has to have a big moment, a title win right away. Same with Brie Bella. Couldn't go back at Royal Rumble. She wrestled twice. Why? Exactly. Alexa came back last year to one of the greatest pops of all time. Then got thanked by being left off TV in Mania season for 3 fucking months. And has won 1 championship since. No singles title or anything like that. Why are they rewarding the Divas era? Especially with Paige helping the Bellas win. When Paige is one of them, along with Charlotte, along with Alexa, along with Bayley, along with Becky, along with Asuka. She's one of that next generation of women's wrestlers who signified a move away from the Divas era. So why we put the belts on them? From a storyline perspective, I just... For the night alone, I'm sure this is things I'm going to say over the next few weeks. We'll see how the reign goes. I'm interested to see what show they'll end up on. I think Paige is going to be better on SmackDown. She's the face now. You come back, you're automatically a face. A returning legend, you are a face. She's better as a face, I think. She was an okay heel as well, but I think she's better as a face. Keep them on SmackDown when they lose the championships. This may be a brief reign, but I think that's the play. SmackDown is in sure need of some faces. Good goal. Next up, we had Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I feel really bad. There's always one match in a show where you just barely pay attention to it. That was this match for me. I barely remember what happened. I was on my phone. I was just fucking tuned out. I went for a piss. I love both of these women. The feud has been so long, so drawn out. I didn't really care. By the time I was done, I was doing some other shit. I was finishing sending some tweets. So I went for me piss. I came back. I'm like, all right, I'm seated now. It was over. 8 minutes, 15 seconds. From what I remember, Becky Lynch comes out to The Wonder Years playing her theme song. I say playing, the lip syncing, pretending to play instruments. They did not play a thing. You could tell because the guy missed the fucking intro. And then he starts. I thought this motherfucker was going to accompany Becky to the ring at one point, or attack her. The camera angle, he just kind of like just pops over, like strolls towards her, like he's going to fucking donkey punch her in the back of the head. Strolled up to her for purpose. No, he's just following, trying to fucking mime singing. But anyway, she comes out. She looks great. Becky's got this big fucking puffer coat on. She always wears that shit. AJ Lee's entrance was one of the cringiest entrances I've ever seen. There is nothing I hate more. Nothing I hate more in terms of entrances where you have a lot of people dressed up. It's usually kids as well, dressed up as the performer. Remember the infamous John Cena Mania? I still cringe at the thought of it. Hate it. There's loads of fucking cosplay John Cena. Remember that? There was 2 lines. There's about 20 of them on either side. These fucking blitz. God knows where they got them from. They're all dressed up in the fucking John Cena purple shirt, the armband, the shorts, the fucking cap and everything. They're all doing this fucking wristband. They're all doing the you can't see me bullshit when he comes out. AJ Lee had the same thing. All these kids, these young girls come out. They're all dressed like AJ Lee. Oh, bro. I feel like it's even more marked as well. And I hate to say this because I love AJ Lee. I've got a lot of respect for this woman. Like I said, she was one of the best parts of the Divas era. She was the standout until Paige. Probably even over Paige, I would say overall. I feel like it's even more noticeable that AJ Lee dresses like a child when you have all these teenage girls come out dressed like her. And AJ Lee's coming out there and it's like, yeah, she kind of does look like she's the wanting to be cool mom. Mom, what's the Americans say? Cool mom. Dressing like the young girls. Oh, I'm sorry, AJ. She comes out holding 2 younger girls' hands and they're dressed like her as well. She's doing a skip and she's got the belt. She comes out. And then I just don't know. I don't remember what happened. I do not know. I think I saw Becky take the turnbuckle pad off for one. So apologies, I'm supposed to review this. This is my bad. I just fucking switched off. I was like, oh, this match. I'll do some other shit for a bit. Oh, shit, it's on. Okay, I'll put this away. I'll pay attention. Then it was done. But yeah, took the turnbuckle pad off. She's arguing with the ref. She's talking a shit, as Becky does. They had a bit of back and forth. I think AJ started pretty well. Nothing really remarkable happened there. It was probably the worst match of night. Becky, AJ she went for a manhandle slam at one point. And Michael Cole sold us this. Bro, he had to tell me what it was supposed to be. Because I did not know what it was. If this was an attempted manhandle slam, I just don't know. It looked like she grabbed her throat and just fell over. It looked shit. Said I'm not going to be too critical of performers here because they weren't given enough time. I stand by that. You know, I, I don't think they were given time to really build up esteem ahead of steam, any kind of chemistry. I'll say the same about Liv and Steph in a bit. So that's a shame. From what little I did see, I do think it was the worst match of the night. Is what it is. They had a good match at Chamber. Becky argues with the ref, who's Jessica Carr, because of course it is. Just like you had to have Dan Engel as the ref in the Drew Fatu match. He didn't play as much a part as Jessica Carr did. Jessica Carr eventually turns around and, fuck you. They have a bit of a push match. Becky goes to attack Jessica, who moves out the way. Becky connects with AJ. Eventually, Becky ended up in the corner, the corner turnbuckle that she'd taken off and exposed. AJ went for what looked like a splash, but accidentally got Jessica Carr instead. Goes down. Becky takes advantage of that by grabbing AJ. This looked kind of rough. She just grabbed her. Boom! Launched her into this exposed turnbuckle face first. AJ rolls off. Bam! Manhandle slam into pin. 1, 2, 3. Jessica Carr reluctantly counts the 3, but she did count it. At normal pace as well. Becky Lynch is the new IC champion. All this says to me is AJ is going away for a little while. She might be back for some fun. We know she's signed a multi-year deal. I think she is still largely going to be part-time. I said in my predictions video, I didn't really care much who won it. Similar to Punk and Roman. The only proviso being if AJ does retain it, she needs to be around as often as she has been in the build to this. Because to be fair, she's been there most weeks. But yeah, we don't need her defending and then disappearing for a month. Becky's not going to do that. Becky will be there every week. So Becky winning it just leads me to think that. I mean, hopefully we get a bonus and AJ is there every week. Still, maybe they'll run a rematch down the line. I don't think they'd have the balls to. This has to be the blow off. They've kept this feud going so long. And Becky's finally exercised the demon. She finally got one over on AJ after so many defeats in a row. I guess the result is better in that sense, and I will say that. I mean, could Becky have lost again? It's Becky Lynch. She's untouchable in the sense of she's a living legend. But still, they had to lose again to AJ. It's kind of fun. I say this as a big AJ fan. I just wanted a good match, and I apologise to both women. I just never really gave them much of a chance until I finally tuned in, and then it was over. So, there's to it. TKO. Good job giving them fucking 8 minutes. Crip. Becky did great work with the IC belt in both rings. She got Lyra elevated. She got Maxine elevated. I'm hoping she goes into a program now with Roxanne. I want Roxanne to be a singles champion for the end of the year. I think the IC belt is a perfect thing for her to go for. I wonder. Remember, she had this stipulation. I said this a while ago. She had this stipulation where if she dethroned Lyra could never again challenge Becky again as IC champ while she's champ. She's lost it twice instead. First to Maxine and then retained it. She lost it to AJ and then retained it. Does that just wipe that rule? So maybe you could have Lyra go after it. You could have Asuka go after it. I'm sure they'll finish the Asuka Io story first. I mean, I feel so sorry those two went on the show, but especially when you see the times, I'm going to get angry again. The amount of dead time they have in this fucking show. And you couldn't get Io and Asuka. Well, fuck TKO. Fuck WWE. Next up, we had Becky's other half, Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins taking on Gunther. Bro, this was easily the match of the night. This was an absolute banger. I fucking love both men. They are great wrestlers, man. They're great competitors. You knew it. Gunther is one of the very best, as is said. They've never met in the ring for a number of years. I think they only ever had one match, was it? Um, Bro, it's just the instant chemistry. Happens when you put two great wrestlers together. Not always, but generally speaking, it does. It doesn't matter about the lack of build they had, the lack of heat going into the match. The crowd got up for this. The crowd was not up for a match quite like this. Right from the off, Gunther comes out as usual, classic entrance. I love his entrance. All about it is just Gunther. It is so him. Seth comes out. Of course, the crowd loves it. Whoa, burn it down. Comes out. Bro, I don't know what the fuck. I turned away after this. He had some kind of, was it contacts? Or was the camera doing an effect? And then later on it didn't. His eyes were full black. He looked demonic. He looked like a fucking video game character. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it stayed on him for a while. He's walking down to the ring and it's just full black eyes. I don't know what the fuck that was. Because then I've turned away. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've sent a tweet or I finished replying to the tweet with someone or whatever the fuck. I was texting. And then I've looked up and the match is about to start and Seth's eyes are normal again. So I don't actually know what they did here. It wouldn't be contacts, would it? He wouldn't get out to the ring and take them off. It must have been some camera effect. Either way, it looked kind of cool, to be fair. I didn't think it would. But it was kind of like, oh damn. It's like he looks a bit intimidating here. It looks kind of cool. That went. Like I said, I make notes for this one as well. I'm gonna recap play by play because frankly I kind of struggled to remember what happened here as well. But I just know it was a banger. There was flurry of offense from Gunther at the start before the bell even went. It's happened multiple times tonight, by the way. Literally 3 times. And assault before the bell even went. You go in. Gunther, it looked out, bro, at first, I'm not gonna lie. Given how fast the previous matches had been as well. Because Becky and AJ, did I say that one? That went 8 minutes 50. Go. At first, I thought, are they about to squash Seth Rollins? Normally, I'd think surely not, but I literally put nothing past this company at this point. I have no fucking respect for them whatsoever. I truly put nothing past them. They're so unexpected in the worst ways. They love talking about the build up. There's another thing John Cena said at the start of the show. Oh, this build, it's been really unexpected. It's been really chaotic and hectic. This kind of company, randomly, they might suddenly make Brock and Ober go 25 minutes tomorrow. And every other fucking match in the show has been going like 7 minutes. It's kind of shit they do. Where it's like, well, no one saw that coming. Everyone thought this was the fucking surefire 7-minute car crash match. Who fucking knows you? Gunther assaults him, flings him into the turnbuckle, powerbomb. He's fucking goes on. He's just fucking leapt on him like a tiger on a wounded like fucking zebra. He was all over this motherfucker. And I'm thinking, damn. Eventually, Seth managed to work an opening to roll out to the ringside and recuperate, showing the ring smarts, the years of experience he's got. Gunther stalks him. He's after him. Seth eventually managed to turn the tide. And yeah, just a lot of back and forth. There were a lot of cool reversals here. Seth got Gunther in a sleeper hold at one point. Gunther managed to reverse it. Seth went for a couple of pedigrees. Gunther managed to roll out of one. And then he kind of picked Seth up on the back. And then Seth kind of like has rolled under, gone for a pin, and eventually reversed it. No, Gunther leant back. That was it. Went for a pin. And Seth's kind of lifted him up. You could see Gunther had to kind of help him get up there, to be fair. And then Seth turned it into a pedigree, hits it. At one point, Gunther went up in the turnbuckle. His punching Seth's head. He's lifted Seth up, gone for a superplex. Seth's got out, done a beautiful looking flip over to go for a power one. Lifts Gunther up, holds him slowly. Gunther's sounding great. He's looking like, oh shit. Fuck. Seth's walked him very slowly. And Gunther's a big guy, man. He showed a lot of strength. And then buckle bombed him. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate buckle bombs. It's always a move that I think, oh god, it could be caught in disaster. I just remember Kyrie taking one of Nia Jax. Fucking idiot. You just launch Kyrie into. Thankfully, she was fine. Yeah, this one, it was clean. It looked great as well. They ended up on the outside near the table. Gunther looking like he was going to set up Seth onto the table. Seth ended up turning it around into a pedigree. Now he's climbing on the other tables. He was going to dive through. I'm thinking at this point, Breaker's going to interfere. Breaker's going to come out. He's going to be dressed like one of those fucking dumbass masked men that first Austin Theory and then Seth Rollins himself were using. And that's how it's going to end. Now went on a little longer. And then Braun Breaker does indeed emerge. Comes running down the rampway. And God, this looked weird, honestly. I thought they would set it up. They love this shit, WWE. I'm glad they didn't, in a way. I thought they'd set it up so that he spears him through the timekeeper barricade. Because that's every fucking PLA they have to do. At least once. Someone goes through that. It's become like a fucking a sweepstake, a bingo card, I guess, the game. All right, which superstar is going to be the one to go through this? Will it be Gunther? Will it be Seth Rollins? Will it be McIntyre? Find out next PLA. They didn't do that. But the angle that Braun Breaker's running at, it's kind of like that side of the ring. The cameramen are right there. Seth's halfway along. Bro, he did a spear. Both spears from Breaker tonight look fucking a bit awkward to me. He goes so fast. There's no real adjustment. And the slightest timing or mistime looks kind of fun. He speared him into the wall and went so fast that he kind of flipped over at the same time. And for a split second, I'm like, oh god, I hope he didn't land off it. And then, before you know, he's just stuck. Braun Breaker's made a tough stuff. Unless he's flipping a tail up, aren't he? It's a hernia. But great to see him back. Anyway, he interfere. I thought he'd come out on this bullshit mask, do the interference, and then lift it off like Seth did at the chamber. But no. Seth gets rolled back into the ring by Braun, talking his shit. And then, you know what's going on. Braun stood near the entrance ramp. Seth slowly gets to his feet, looking at him. Hanging onto ropes, a bit like, oh, you motherfucker. And Gunther just appears like a fucking shark right behind him. Grabs in the sleeper. Seth puts up a little fight, but quickly passes out. Ref rings the bell. Gunther wins. Absolute banger, man. Like I said, I didn't make notes for this. It is the only match of the night I'm going to watch back, I think. I don't really have any desire to watch anything else back in terms of in-ring work. But this was really good. 15 minutes they were given. It was a breakneck speed, really. You know, at one point, Rollins is unloading on Gunther in the corner. This is the greatness of Gunther, man. I fucking love this about him. It's like Michael Cole summarized it pretty well. I think he has this slow, methodical pace. And then was it Corey Graves made a good point as well? Was he hopped on from time to time in commentary? Was it Corey? Maybe it was Wade. I don't know. It's like Gunther, he has this methodical thing. He controls the match, dictates at his own pace. But similar to The Undertaker in a lot of ways. He suddenly explodes into life. He has these little bursts. We did it. Rollins is attacking him. And the commentator's pointing out, he glanced over at the ref at one point, and then bam, that was all Gunther needed. I love that. I love that killer aspect of his character. He kicked him, grabbed him, bam, powered on dead quick. And went for a pin that Rollins just rolled out of, and see Seth looking at it. What, man? These little things go a long way, man. It feels almost like he's this snake coiled and can strike at any moment. If you drop your guard for a second and you take your eye off the ball, like literally as Seth did here, Gunther just springs into life and goes. That's for Rollins, man. I mean, his first match back in what, 7 months now? It was October, 6 months. First match back in 6 months. Guy's a legend. Great in ring. For two guys who had no real build, no real heat, it is one build I gave a pass for in my recap because both of their natural opponents were not cleared in time. Well, Rey Mysterio was rumored to be Gunther's opponent, and he actually did end up getting put in the IC match for tomorrow, the six-pack ladder match. But I don't think they trusted him to do a 1v1 with Gunther. As a 50-plus-year-old man, he's only just gotten back. Rollins has also only just gotten back, but he's a lot more in his prime, and they trust him to do that. Braun Breaker, I've no doubt, could have physically gone with Seth. I mean, especially for the only fucking 15 minutes they gave. But they wanted more time to tell their story, which makes a lot of sense. It was kind of the dominant faction of Raw last year, the Vision. That is a big story to tell. And that is what we'll get coming out of Backlash. I think Rollins and Gunther are done, but man, I want to see that again. In whenever, the next year or so. If we can get them back working with each other, tell a proper feud between them, there you can go, man. I don't think anyone will have any complaints, especially after that match. That was a really, really good match. All credit to both men. I don't think a lot of matches tonight were given sufficient time, quite clearly. But boy, talk about making your time count. They really, really did. I said this in the preview thing. This has match of the weekend, steal the show potential, this match. And so far, they have. It's going to take some beating that. Especially if night 2 is as bad as night 1 for, we'll give the main event 20 minutes. I mean, speaking of this whole narrative, this whole fucking theme of this video, of WWE just not giving them enough time, we come to the most egregious example of this. I cannot fucking believe what I was watching. I can't believe it. Liv versus Stephanie. I've been critical in large parts of this build. A lot of people have gassed it. A lot of Liv simps on Twitter just piss me off. I like Liv a lot, but I've said before, she could take a shit in the middle of the ring and a lot of them would be drooling. They'd be praising it. Oh, it's Wrestle of the Year moment. One thing I always had faith in, both of them, is them to put on a banger. How can you put on a banger when you're given? At first it said 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Wikipedia then was saying 9 minutes. Let me refresh this motherfucker again. What's been updated to now? Let's still say 9 minutes. I'm not sure I believe they would give him 9 minutes. Either way, 9 fucking minutes for two of the best wrestlers in your company. What the fuck are we doing? Stephanie Vaquero had a 210-day reign. She defended against 2 different women. Raquel Rodriguez 4 times, Nikki Bella twice. She lost in 9 minutes. 9 fucking minutes. What the fuck are you doing? They deserve more. They deserve so much more time. The whole match began. They didn't have any vignette build up or recap or whatever the fuck. Like I said, I think this build up's been very up and down. I think the brawling has been great. Very believable. I mean, the fucking noggin on Liv's head, still got the black eyes, her cranium looks like bruised. It is testament to that. I don't think the actual mic work or promo work was any good at all. But I was always ready for this match. 2 great wrestlers. One of the worst parts of this build was the removal of Liv's entrance theme, which I always liked. I really loved Watch Me. I would say that was in my top 10 themes total in WWE. They removed it for this music video she's done, which Rebecca Black levels about. It's just fucking awful. It does the start of it, and then cuts to there's a part where Liv has like I don't know 7 women, maybe some of them are guys. I think they're all women sat on a chair alongside her, and then there's some dude next to her, and they're all kind of dancing. And I'm not gonna fucking. It's very flash dance. The kind of she's bopping her head, she's headbanging, she's dancing around the chair, and then she gets up, and the guy picks her up and swings her around. She hooks her leg over this dude's neck, and then he one's down. This dude's loving life. And he's swinging around, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, man, I didn't drop her. She's about to wrestle for the web title. She's doing all these fucking dance choreography moves to fucking watch. It looks great in the role. I mean, she looks like she could be a dancer. Like, she's got the moves. I mean, of course, she's a good wrestler, so you expect as much. And then this guy gets her around his waist, and he's kind of, well, dragging in, and he sets her down, and then all the fucking hit entourage grab her. She's wearing this fucking suit, Charlie Chaplin suit. They all grab the suit and then rip it off, and she's got a gear on. She comes out. Little did we know, the entrances would last longer than the fucking match, which is a common thing throughout this night. Common theme. Liv got a game face on then. She looked really ready. Fired up. I was fired up. I was like, come on, let's go. It's going to be a good match. Vaquer comes up. Her entrance theme had also been fucked with in the building. This one, quite a while ago, though. It was about 7 weeks ago. I think it was when she took on Raquel just after the Royal Rumble in that street fight, is when they changed Vaquer's music. Her old one theme wasn't that great anyway. This new one's so generic. It's just like, it's not great. But she comes out, she looks $1 million. She always does, Vaquer. She's got the aura. She comes down. Match starts. It felt a little sloppy to me. I don't know if the build, I did get a sense sometimes that they do genuinely like Joe, or at least Liv doesn't like Stephanie. Because I think Stephanie's tried to get a bit of fire in a character. She's been accused her whole reign, really, is that accusations of. It was a little timid, a little toothless, a little, just like an oomph. Just a little oomph, you know. Maybe she tried to up the ante, up the fire. It's ironic, you know, her whole thing is the devil's kiss. She comes out the horn, she got the fire. It has felt lacking in fire. Liv is the opposite. Liv exudes fire. She really is like spark. She kind of like exudes energy and stuff. And anger and hate throughout this whole build. So Vaquer has kind of like potatoed it a few times, let's be frank. Liv to return the favour. It got a bit of heat. The brawls were great. But it's a bit disappointing that this match was kind of like, felt like a fucking wet fish. Just a flop. It was. And again, my main blame here is towards the timekeepers, not giving them the time to do much. I mean, what can you do when you give 9 minutes? Allegedly. I still think there's an overestimation. I think the link for this, the official link for this, is WWE's site. And it would not surprise me if they just did because of criticism. Because I don't think this went longer than the women's tag match or the Becky and AJ match. They traded a lot of moves. Vaquer went for a devil's kiss, Liv reversed it. Vaquer hit an oblivion, which looked great. And Liv hit Vaquer with one of their moves. 4 minutes in, it felt. Maybe it was more like 5 minutes. Roxanne Perez is stood on the ring side, trying to distract her. And then Raquel hops up on the apron, pushes Vaquer off, who'd gone up on the turnbuckle, looking like she's going to hit a corkscrew moonsault. And I knew it was cooked right there and then. I knew it. I was like, well, fucking hell, are you serious? I've sat through so many matches that have gone like no time. But, I'm thinking, all right, this is the first World Championship match of this WrestleMania. Surely this one's going to be given like at least 15 minutes. Within 5 minutes, you have interference. And so I knew the end was near. Liv got a Liv got a jump on Stephanie then, of course. So she went for an Oblivion. Stephanie kicked out. Rare someone kicks out the Oblivion, but she did. Vaquer looked like she was trying to mount some offense, but then eventually the numbers game proved too much. There's another distraction, and they've hit another Oblivion, and it was over. Raquel and Roxanne join the ring. Dominic comes out, hands Liv the belt, celebrates with Liv. The Judgment Day were united. I, I just, again, like, uh, what can you say, man? I feel so sorry for both of them. The chemistry didn't really shine as much as it should. They're two great wrestlers, but for whatever reason, they didn't quite hit. But still, if you give them 9 minutes, you're not really given enough time to warm up to it. Liv's also recently took a big bump to the head. I feel like maybe they instructed Stephanie to be limited in a moveset. So, you can't really aggravate Liv's head, especially as Liv went on to win this. She was scheduled to win, to become the champ. Can't have the champ getting injured. Maybe she was still under concussion protocol to some extent. I don't know. I'm sure they would give it a title in that case. They'd probably pivot, but it just felt a little off to me, this one. I don't know, man. For what little time Fatu this Drew was given, I thought that was good. I thought the women's tag match was kind of fun. I thought it was fine. Whereas a lot of people thought that would be the worst match of the night, myself included. Um, Gunther and Seth was obviously spectacular. I just feel like this match, it felt like a Raw match to me. Too often that's the case on this night show. Most of the others were because of the time restraints, but I think this match and the AJ Becky match, it just felt like a Raw match. It is what it is. Well, the women's tag as well, I guess, if we talk of in ring. But I think Paige returning did feel like a big moment, like a mania moment. Liv winning championship, I'm fine with. This is one that I preferred. I didn't mind if Vaquer won it, per se. But I think Liv winning just. I said this in a prediction video. Watch that if you want to recap of my opinion on it. But TLDR, it opens up way more avenues. At the end of the day, Stephanie, she's still learning English. She can't really cut a live promo. They have to give her vignettes with subtitles to cut the promos. She doesn't quite hit. It's different. She's spectacular in ring. She's a beautiful woman. She's hot as hell. She has this aura. She has a big, big future. She's still pretty young. She's going nowhere, man. This was her first title reign, 210 days, long run. She beat Hero Sky and a banger to win it. She's had a good debut year. It was time to move. I didn't mind it at all. Liv winning the championship at Mania. She gets her big Mania moment. It's a shame that it was in a match that underwhelmed. As I said, the vast majority of the blame, I'm not going to lie, on Hurdle, or indeed Stephanie Vaquez. But Liv winning, you could play with Roxanne and Raquel. I mean, I think if Liv's still champion coming out of SummerSlam, then the odds of Roxanne or Raquel winning the Money in the Bank briefcase shoot up. I think they'll become the two favourites for that. If they do decide to put them both in, I feel like they'd probably opt for one of them to be in there from the Raw side. But yeah, it's just, it's what it is, man. It underwhelmed for me. I feel like I thought this was going to be one of those matches where it'd be like, yeah, that is a match I'll end up really enjoying and watch back. But I'm never going to watch that match back or anything. Unfortunate. So, like I said earlier, I think from bell to bell here, there was a 45-minute gap between Liv winning and Cody and Randy the bell game, which is fucking unbelievable to me. How you can do this? I just WWE has a lot of problems on. It has a lot of fucking problems. What did we get in the meantime? There were a couple of things actually. I don't remember if this was before the Liv match or after it. I think it might have been before. I didn't make a part of this in my notes, so it's something I could have easily forgotten. I'm glad I didn't. Two things actually. First and foremost, they brought down the Hall of Fame class. You know, the families of people who can't be there were represented, and some of the other talent themselves. AJ Styles came out, Stephanie McMahon. It was for nothing but a come out onto the stage, wave, get a cheer from the audience. Nice moment for them. But John Cena came out, his second segment of the night. That's where he gave the attendance. He thanked everyone for being there. He said, "Oh, it hasn't been a great mania and all this shit." The usual. Suddenly, Bianca Belair's music played. Bianca came out. The crowd popping. Bianca's back. Yay. I think instantly a lot of people were thinking, she come out with this big. It looked like kind of a sequined gear, but it was feathered. Similar to some one of the Becky Lynch coats she wears. Sure, Bianca maybe hit her up. She was like, "Hey, Becky, would you get them coats from?" Great to see her. She looked beautiful as ever. Bianca's never been one of my favorites. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I feel like there are a few things. I hate her entrance feet. I hate her entrance. I hate that stupid braid. That's it mainly. I know it's part of their brand, the braid. But I remember in WWE Real, Montez saying to her, oh, she was talking about Montez. She was like, well, I wrestled years ago and did the braid. And she was like, oh, do you think it's a bit long? Montez was like, no, keep it. You know, people are going to go away and they'll remember that girl who wrestled with the braid. Bianca's such a good fucking wrestler, such a good talker, such a good everything. She didn't need that, I think. The whole package, the EST, the fucking skipping, the dumb entrance, the shit beam. I never really got as invested in it compared to a lot of other superstars who struck me as more serious, to be honest. Regardless, she is one of the best, for sure. She is sorely missed. I like having her on my screen. I love her match catalogue is great. She's had some banger feuds. It was good to see her back. Well, so we thought. She comes out, she's wearing this gear. It became apparent that it looked like she was pregnant. I thought right away, I was like, I don't want to go out and say it online, but is she showing the Bianca? We sure is that big around the picture? Or she let herself go in her injury or something? And she's got this big, fluffy, bulky gear on that's clearly designed to kind of hide it. She comes out to the ring. Cena talks to her. She says, yeah, it's great to be back, blah, blah, blah. And in the spirit of announcements, I have one to make myself. Unstraps the front of the top, turns it, and yeah, she's shown. Look like she's about, I don't know, 3-4 months pregnant. It's not like a major pregnancy belly there, but it's showing. You can tell. Congratulations to her, Montez. I mean, I blame her, to be fair. She's been out for so long. There's probably not much else to do. Is this why Montez? I mean, Montez the same. He basically just got binned from SummerSlam onwards when WWE and their Infinite Wisdom just nuked the best tag team division they had in SmackDown. Put the titles on the Wyatt Six and any MFTs, and that got stuck in a fucking vortex. So Montez has just been at home the whole time. His lovely wife. And yeah, it's probably just like, all right, fuck every day. Happens. Yeah, fair play. They and good luck to them. But the bigger story, of course, is how long is Bianca going to be out from here now? Probably looking at her returning not until 2028. There are no more excuses for the Jade Cargill is champion apologists. Bro, this might changed my mind on. I think the odds of Rhea winning tomorrow just went up. The whole time I thought, I don't see them. I don't see Netflix or Raw, especially with EO being on the show, letting Rhea go to SmackDown USA. I just don't understand that. Even though SmackDown was crying out for a big face champion, you do have options. You know, you have Charlotte and Alexa, you have Tiffany. There are women there to dethrone Jade, but always the major one everyone was thinking of was Bianca. The role was just set up for Bianca to come back, feud with Jade, and defeat. I always felt like that was the reason Jade was fucking champion to begin with. Because WWE was just assuming Bianca was going to be back. And cleared from a finger injury and then dethrones her. I think the plan, if Bianca had been fit for Rumble, not pregnant. It looks like she got pregnant around Christmas time, I would guess. Maybe the plan then would have been for her to win one of the Rumble or Chamber. Probably Rumble. She'd won 2 chambers in a row. And then go on Throne Jade. I feel like they would have done that if she'd been available. So now offer Jade. Does Rhea win? I'm beginning to think maybe. I hope not, to be honest, because I would sooner spare her the indignity of being on fucking SmackDown. I would rather an actual SmackDown woman do it. I'd rather keep Rhea on the same show as Io. I don't even know, actually. Do I want that? Io has been reduced to something like Rhea's sidekick. If you have Rhea on SmackDown, she could never work with Jade again. Because they just don't work. Who else has she got to work with? How many other heels have they presented of that caliber to then take on Rhea? She'd have to go into a feud with other faces, I feel like. Charlotte and Alexa, she could run feuds with, sure. Tiffany. I think her and Tiff would be a really good match, actually. Could be a good feud. Because I think all 3 of those women, Tiffany, Charlotte, and Alexa, all have the promo chops to carry Rhea's ass in a build, which has not been the case at all for Jay or Rhea. Both of them need someone to carry the load of the feud. Neither of them can. Bianca could have done, but she's unavailable. It is what it is. You know, life comes first. She's pregnant now. Congratulations to her. But, damn, man. You know, if you'd have said this time last year, we're probably going to go about 2.5 years without seeing Bianca Belair in a wrestling ring. How many people would have believed you? After she had a banger, the last match she had was one of the greatest in WrestleMania history. So, yeah, bit of a shame. But at the end of the day, really, really happy for them. Last up. So we did have that segment. I think it was after Live. So that took up a bit of time, to be fair. But besides that, it was just adverts. And it was Michael Cole talking a bit. We did actually have a little vignette recapping the build between Cody and Randy. Cody Rhodes defended the championship. I say result here and now because what I think happened by the end of it, I can't believe it. I feel like all they did was course correct this whole build, and they're going to go again at Backlash, which is unbelievable for me. They just sacrificed Mania as the stepping stone to the real feud. It's like, all right, now let the real main event begin. The main event itself was, like I said earlier, at the start, it was two-faced for me. It was Harvey Dent, man. It was fucking Jekyll and Hyde. It was the first half of it. I did not care much for it. Second half was fine. I know Randy Orifal's his entrance. It is the era of Orifal. But good God, man, it didn't piss me off as much until the chamber when he took at least 5 minutes getting down. Because we had such a fucking short chamber match. Just after Liv and Stephanie, a World Championship match, ending a 210-day reign. Vaquer was unbeaten on the main roster as well, lest we not forget. until Liv beat her. And it took interference for her. So this was a big deal. They had a 9-minute match. And then Randy. Well, first, Pat McAfee makes a fucking entrance to a chorus of boos, of course. Randy comes out, takes about another 5 minutes. Cody Rhodes, I do not know what the fuck this was. It looked like a load of action figures. They had, like, yeah, it looked like giant life-size action figure. You know, you have kind of the plastic mold. Or I felt like I was watching something of The Incredibles, almost. There was these molds and there's these, like, outfits. And it was Cody through the years. You know, you had one where it was like the Stardust outfit, and then his original look, and then there's another one. It looked like a grey thing. I don't know where the fuck that was from, but it was kind of like quickly cutting to from that to shots on the big screen or now home straight to our feed of Cody wearing these outfits throughout his career. Then she makes his entrance. To say Cody throughout the show had a mixed reaction is an understatement. There are cheers where you expect them to be. People still love the whoa in his entrance. No, that's Seth Rollins. Oh, I don't know, it kind of is that. So I had to run through it then. I was like, what's his woe go like? Is it just like, oh? The crowd get up for that. I don't know what they would do expect. Like, did they expect Randy Orton to suddenly get booed when they introduced Pat McAfee to the story? The crowd were all for Randy the whole way. They cheer him when he come out. They cheer him when he tries to do the most nefarious things. They didn't give a flying fuck, man. They were there to watch him grab number 15. It just made me laugh. Like, at one point, they were in the middle of the ring in this match, and the trading punches. And one's when Randy's hitting Cody, they go, yeah, and Cody's hitting Randy, they go, boo. You wouldn't know who's face and heel. Before they started, Cody came down. They had such the entrances combined took longer than every other match in the card, I think, individually. Maybe Gunther Seth's the only one that went longer than these three entrances. McAfee into Orton into Rhodes. Pat McAfee being put front and center in this. It was extra egregious and extra glaring, man. When you're actually watching it there, you're just like, what the fuck? What am I watching? He even took the intro. Alicia Taylor's there. Well, I think shit. Anyway, to be honest, I think she's fucking awful. So to one occasion, to be fair, we're not going to be too harsh on Pat McAfee. Because I'll probably do the same. She does the entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Rhodes. Does that. She goes to introduce Randy. Pat takes the mic off her and he introduced. I can't remember what he said. It was like, he's the guy who's going to save the business. Whatever the bullshit story they've tried to fucking sell us on it. It's been shit. He takes the mic. Does that. And then, before the bell even goes, he just grabs the mic. Bop. Whacks Orton on the head, Rhodes on the head. Assaults him. Randy joins in. Cody eventually manages to turn it tide somewhat. Gets Randy off him, flings him out, then grabs McAfee. Takes him on to the outside area. This is before the bell. The bell's still not gone back. He splays him, leaves him flaying on the announce table. The same announce table, by the way. It's always the left one. They love that shit. I wonder why they started giving the main English commentary team that one. Because it used to always be the Spanish announce table. That was the meme. JR King were always on the right hand side, and the Spanish announce table was there. And that was the one that took the fucking punishment. But now that's Wade and Cole. That was the one that took the fucking beating all night. He lays him down there. Jelly Roll appears. At this point, I'm just like, fucking hell, man. What? It feared. Not only has the build been consumed by Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee, at this point, I'm thinking the whole fucking main event's going to be filled with them. The match. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Thankfully, that was kind of it. Jelly Roll, well, for now, Jelly Roll does a diving elbow through Pat McAfee. Fans are doing holy shit, because they're fucking idiots. I mean, they've paid so much money. I guess they're trying to gaslight themselves and get excited over the simplest bullshit. The WrestleMania main event, it's not even started. We've got a show where all the matches are going fucking 10 minutes with fuck all build in the meantime anyway. Oh no, we're going to waste an extra 5 minutes on fucking Jelly Roll. Do an elbow drop to Pat McAfee through a fucking announce table. Who gives a fuck about this shit, man? I do not care. They waste more time. They have to bring out a fucking gurney, a stretcher to put Pat McAfee on. Everyone's singing na 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 hey goodbye. They won't pack them. Cody's loving it. He's fucking watching. Randy, I don't know where the fuck Randy's gone at this point. He probably fell asleep. I just don't. Unbelievable. The first thing I remember from this match, like I said, the first 15 minutes or so was so pedestrian. Afterwards, I thought it was good. I thought the pace picked up. Randy went for his old grab the guy around the neck and do kind of backbreaker on his back. And he sold this like he'd pulled something. At first, I thought he was trying to sell his fight. It looked like he kind of got up and he couldn't put much weight on his leg. I thought, oh, he's selling that, or he's really injured it. Hopefully not, but maybe selling that. Well, throughout the match, Cody was talking the lower back. So I think he was, the kidney area. I think he was trying to sell that. Orton executed a signature draping DDT, power slam, 1 point. Cody, they went on the outside. Cody managed to turn around. There should be a meme, actually. Randy's face when this happened, the split second before. Cody pushed him headfirst into the ring post. You see Randy just go, whoa! Full on shock face. It was because the light flashed before his eyes. He hits the ring post, goes down. I didn't think there was much connection or much looking bad. But Randy clearly did because he bladed. By the time he got back up, he was bleeding. I was like, oh, we are going to see blood on tonight's show. After Jacob and Drew, the one match that really kind of called for it, didn't see any. I thought, oh, we're probably not going to get any. But no, Randy took a blade and then got up, and it wasn't really everywhere. It was just kind of like contained to the middle of it. This motherfucker's probably bladed so many times over the years because he's an OG. He's from the era where they actually used to still do it. This motherfucker wrestled Mick Foley in a hardcore match. He knows. He's been there, done that. So it didn't really go over. It's just kind of in the center of his forehead for the most part. After that, Cody took him into the ring and did a Drake and DDT of his own. This was a signature throughout the match. I feel like so many WrestleMania main events these days, it's becoming too common. This WrestleMania main event, you have to do each other's moves. Think about it. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. How often did this happen? CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. How often did this happen? John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. SummerSlam. How often did this happen? John Cena versus AJ Styles. Crown Jewel. How often did this happen? What am I playing? Fucking WWE. Here comes the pain. Oh, if I build up the meter twice, I can steal my opponent's finisher. Yeah. I feel like this has become a bit too formulaic. It's cool when you do it in moderation, but every fucking PLE main event, pay attention to it from now on. SummerSlam main event, this is going to happen. One of them. I mean, it happens for matches occasionally. And, even undercard matches, to be fair, Rollins put a sleeper on Gunther at one point, to be fair. But the main events, the big shows, they love this shit. It was a recurring theme throughout this match. Because, after that, Randy did the crossroads on Cody. Cody responded with an RKO. Cody then, I think by this point, Cody's bleeding. I didn't even see what happened. I mean, he's obviously bladed, but I don't even remember Randy hitting him hard enough to merit a blade. All of a sudden, he just stood up and he was bleeding. Like he just turned it on. Fucking fall. So I was like, oh, God. Maybe Ric Flair does that. Sure. I feel like sometimes Ric Flair could look in a mirror. If he concentrates hard enough, he could make himself bleed on command. Like he's fucking Jesus. But anyway, Cody pokes Randy in the eye. And then, even though Cody's poked Randy in the eye, well, he stood directly in front of him. Randy's seemingly, as commentator trying to sell this, he's gotten confused that maybe Cody's moved around behind him. So then all of a sudden, he RKO's the guy right behind him, who happens to be the fucking rep, Charles Robinson. Takes him out. After the official was down, I'm thinking Cody is going to hit the crossroads on Randy. No pin. Randy will end up fucking winning this match because of calls. They traded low blows. Cody going for the low blow on Randy was a bit of a careful. You know, I'm thinking, oh, are they going to maybe do a double turn here? I mean, can you turn Randy at this point? Maybe. But, you know, the fans are kind of ready to boo Cody. Homelander Cody would be generational if they do it right. I have no confidence in this company at all. I have confidence in Cody. If they stop fucking shackling him with fucking Travis Scott and Pat McAfee and whatever bullshit for his big matches and big feuds. If they just let him be, I'm sure he could do it. I was thinking at that point they were going to maybe go in that direction. While the ref's down, all of a sudden, you know, I went from thinking, oh, Cody's going to crossroads, go for the pin, ref's not going to be there, Randy's going to fuck him out. Randy's going to hit him with an RKO, but I think the ref is miraculously alive. Or what was about to happen coming up would happen. I call that in my head. But then the alternative, after that low blow, I'm thinking, maybe Cody grabs a title belt or something, hits Randy over it. You know, something he couldn't do to John Cena. Or does something nefarious to Randy. And then maybe the refs come to, has not seen this, Cody gets the win and tries to act all like Homer. You know, I'm a good guy. I was like, oh no, we just seen you cheat. There were different paths to take here. In the end, after the low blows, it kind of went routine. Cody went for a Cody cutter off the top, helps into the top 10, buckle onto the rope, goes to Cody cutter. I knew what was going to happen as he went up to this. Randy turned it into a mid-air RKO. You have to have a mid-air RKO, of course, when Randy Orton's concerned in a big match of his. And then Pat McAfee entered the ring wearing his referee shirt and a fucking neck brace. It's counter, ended up being a near fall. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, kicks off. Orton was kind of went back on Cody, and you could see him almost smiling, laughing maniacally, a bit like, fucking, what have I got to do to this guy? And this Pat McAfee dude, who I've got on my side, this motherfucker had one job. And he's come out and he didn't even fast count or anything, he just did a normal count. You could tell Cody maybe was really extra on guard here. Shit, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to get the rhythm of this, make sure he doesn't count to 3. We all remember the Mike Tyson fast count. Randy's kind of laughing. He stands up. Cody's trying to come to. Pat stood up. He's talking shit to Cody. You know, Randy's going to get you big. I knew it was going to happen again. Just before it happened. I didn't know from the offset, but you could see it like a second or two before. Because Pat McAfee stood right on Orton's blind spot, right over his shoulder. Bad place to stand, bud. Randy turns around, bam, RKO's Pat. Turns around, kicks his sunglasses. I mean, Pat, he had a fucking neck brace on. Still have to come out wearing his sunglasses. This motherfucker. Kicks them out. Turned his back on Cody, though. Fatal mistake. Cody grabs him. Cody cuts it. Crossroads. By this point, Charles Robinson has miraculously revived, because of course he did, and he counts to 3. Cody retains. I did not see this coming. Did not at all. I remember if the proviso was if Randy didn't win, Pat McAfee will never appear again. Randy basically turned on him. So huge pop, because of course he got popped. Everyone just didn't want. It's not even necessarily McAfee. It could have been anyone. It was his insertion into the storyline really ruined this bit. So they just wanted him to go. This felt like course correct for me. Cody defended. Randy turned on Pat. But Randy's still presented as a heel because what I'm about to tell you. So we go again. What a shame. Mania should be the finishing point. Just completely fucked it. I do think, before we get into post-match, the match overall was fine. However, the main event was decent. 22 minutes for a fucking WrestleMania main event. Again, these guys were not exempt. I think of all the razzmatazz, the long entrances, all the bullshit, it felt more than 20 minutes. I mean, there was a lot of stuff went on before the bell even went. Pat had been put through the desk by Jelly Roll after assaulting Cody Rhodes and all this. There was about 5-10 minutes of action before the bell even went, to be considered. But still, bell to bell, 22 minutes. What the fuck? I don't know what we're doing here anymore, man. It's just like, these people should not be running a wrestling company. They do not know what to do. I could book better than this. I'm not even taking a piss. I'm just some fucking schmuck who didn't watch the company week to week for 20 odd years. But I did watch during the peak era. The era that Pat McAfee's been going on TV saying we need to bring back. We ain't wrong in a way. Maybe you should listen to what you're having Pat McAfee say, Harry Emanuel, you stupid bellend. Stop cutting so many fucking ads and all this bullshit. Give the wrestlers time. Cody retaining. Everyone was there expecting, wanting Randy to win the 15th. I would have done it, man. I mean, that was a better move. I mean, they had Cody lose last year. Maybe they were looking to do that. I don't understand. I mean, if Randy goes on his heel turn as well, it's for nothing. All that time eyeing Cody's belt was for nothing. He also lost him at King of the Ring, and he's lost again. What does that make Randy look like now? He lost because he did the most non-Randy Orton thing. The whole time in his story, with Sami Zayn's story recently, Randy's been talking about, oh, you don't miss your opportunity. You've got to be a killer. You've got to, don't take your eye off the ball. Keep your eyes on the prize. Well, he lost the championship because he decided to RKO Pat McAfee, who's been in his corner. He even took the time to kick his fucking sunglasses out the way. He could have just stamped on it. Who gives a fuck if you stand on him, man? It's a WrestleMania 42 main event. You're going after number 15. The whole story is you're desperate to win it at all costs. He's more concerned, I don't want to break his sunglasses. All right, I'm going to kick them away. Oh, by the way, this time I'm fucking cutting my back to Cody. That's all it needs. That's all it takes. It made no sense. The production at the end, if you actually break it down, after the match, this will get people talking. Cody celebrating. Randy just walks in, literally grabs the belt off his hand, bops him back at it. He's in no rush, Randy. He's just strolling around without care in the world. Hops to the turnbuckle, goes to the corner, turns round, drops to a hunch, starts eyeing it up, smiling a bit, he's laughing. He's got the viper look back in his eyes. I knew it was coming. It's like, damn, they haven't done a punt in a while. But bam, hit Cody with the punt kick and stood over him as champion who held the belt. I don't know if he left with the belt. He was certainly holding it up over his head as it faded. I don't know if he actually took it and left. But that just indicates that there's more to the story that we're not done. And that is what baffles me. Mainly should be the end point for these big stories. It felt like this whole TKO bullshit that they've done to Cody 3 years in a row, and I'm furious that they've done it to my boy Randy as well. Randy Orton's a great, whatever I may have just said about him, there's no criticism. Really, I love the guy. I think he should have won. I wanted him to win. But it felt like the insertion of Pat McAfee into the story, all this bollocks that they did, yet again, TKO have realised too late they need to course correct. And they've done it in the actual fucking main event. Oh, we'll just wipe away everything that happened. It's like nothing happened. It's like it didn't matter. Pat McAfee was just neutralised before the match even started by Jelly Roll. And he appears at the end, gets RKO. Randy turns on him. I feel like that works more if Randy then wins it as well. Like he's turned Pat like, oh, you useful idiot. I've used you now. I've RKO'd you. You've served your purpose. Now I'm going to win the belt. I think that's what should have happened. I think after Cody kicked out of Pat's attack, Pat should have maybe gone up and be like, oh, listen. Randy can get angry with Pat. Oh, it's not my fault, fucking, you okay? You give him everything you've got. All right, there's one more thing. You know what to do. Randy then punk kicks him, pins him. Charles Robinson counts the pin even. You could have, he's recuperated by time. Then Pat celebrates Randy, and then Randy RKO's Pat. You didn't even have a punk Pat. Punts Pat as well. Like he's one of the fucking American footballs he used to kick. To have all this and Randy lose, like, this is the one result from tonight that I'm not furious about, just I'm not sure, man. I didn't think that was the play. Here's what it is. All in all, a really weird evening, man. It's hard to review this purely and feel like I've been fair because of the time restraints they were put under, because of the other factors. TKO have possibly the greatest, most stacked roster they've had since 2002, maybe? I think it's up there. And they give them no time. I hope night two's better. Looking ahead to night two, what we got? We got Obafemi and Brock Lesnar opening up. I mean, God, if the matches are proportioned to the time I expected them to go, to the time we actually got, maybe over Brock tomorrow is going to go literally 2 minutes. Because I'm expecting it to go about 7-8 minutes. But every other match just felt like a quarter of the fucking time it should have been. Even 9-minute match for a whip. Hope vs. Brock opens up. Then we have Penta vs. Javon Evans vs. Dragon Lee vs. JD McDonough vs. Rusev vs. Rey Mysterio. Penta defending the IC Championship in its six-pack ladder match. Jade Cargill defends the WWE Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. As I said, I think Rhea's win odds has just gone up now that Bianca's going to be nowhere to be seen for the next 2 years, basically. Sami Zayn defends his United States Championship against Trick Williams. Finn Balor is bringing back the Demon to take on Dominic Mysterio, who was on the show tonight. He'll be hoping to follow Liv as a winner. CM Punk will be hoping not to follow his better half, AJ Lee, to the defeat tonight. Punk defends his World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. It's said on here on the Wikipedia stipulation thing, if Reigns loses, he will leave WWE. Yeah, I should add this. Roman said this in a interview. I mean, whether it matters or not, I don't know. I think Roman will win this match anyway. That was my prediction. I think Cody winning the championship is maybe more of the thing. Maybe Cody defending was just they didn't want to change both championships on the show. Would the women apply to that as well? They've already changed the one women's world championship. Would they want to change both? Who knows? We could end up with both world championships on Raw changing hands and neither on SmackDown changing hands. The very real possibility. So we'll see. I don't know whether they stick with Jade or not. I'd sooner they stick with her and then just pivot to Charlotte Flair as the next champ. Then have Alexa turn on her. Alexa take on Charlotte. You could maybe protract that down because I don't know if you'd have Charlotte lose the first reign. I'd like Alexa to dethrone Charlotte. If that was the case, that feud ever happens. Yeah, looking at the card, Mania Night 2 always looked better than Night 1, but bro, like, how can I have any faith it's going to be good after what we saw tonight? I will always remember this show, Mania Night 1, as the Mania where all the time was cut, where there was just a whole bunch of nothing. That is the overarching message. I began with a rant. I'm not going to end with a rant because my voice is shot now. I'm done. But to summarize, TKO have really gone all in with this the premium live events they have now. It's not pay-per-views, they're premium live events. If you look at the definition of the word premium, if you think of what things are to be at a premium, it means it's in short supply. It's you sparingly. So that it adds to it. It elevates it. Boxers are like this a lot nowadays. When you become world champion, you look at Iron Mike Tyson back in the day when he was on his big run. He used to wrestle every 3 weeks. Yeah, he was banging everyone out in 1 round. Physically, he could, but a lot of wrestlers, a lot of boxers could do this nowadays. But when more interest comes around it, when more money becomes around it, when they become more on a world scale, they're at a premium. They're in demand more. TKO just really believe in this model of I'm going to give you little, less is more. Bro, there is a fucking line. There is a fine line here. You've way overcrossed it already. They're never going to watch any of this. Not many people will. But if ever anyone in wrestling watched this, I'm sure they would agree. You need to give them time. What is wrestling? It's giving time to build feuds, build interest, build heat, build audience connection. How the fuck can these new people coming along do that? How can Stephanie Vaquer be expected to do that when she's given 9 minutes? Being at a premium as well, it's making the wrestlers rustier because they barely have fucking time to wrestle. Oh, you're 8 women in this match, this tag match. Right, we're going to be 8 minutes, 35 seconds. Good luck. Go in there, you got 30 seconds, make it count. Fuck is that? Enough with the premium bullshit. AEW does it too much wrestling, not enough story. WWE is just ads. Give them more time, bro. 1 hour, 25 minutes, I counted up, of in-ring action on a 4 hour show. I'm done with this shit. That should be 2:35 minimum. Fucking minimum. Even then, I would probably comment on it. 3 hours, at least it should be. Less than half. What was it? Less than 3/8 of the fucking show is actual wrestling. It is unbelievable. That I'm always going to remember the show. It completely ruined this nightfall. So I think a lot of the matches they were starting to cut core. You could see something. There was enough interest. The crowd was up enough for Paige's return that could have dragged that match out more. Bailey was barely involved or whatever. Drew and Fatu were shackled. They weren't really given enough time to actually go around the arena. Like the fucking stipulation allowed them to. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, barely given any fucking time to do anything. We barely saw Heyman on the show. Could have had segments with him. He come out to greet Braun Breaker on the ramp after he went back to spear Seth Rollins the second time. Rollins and Gunther, bro, I could have sat there for about half an hour happily and watched that. That's the overarching feeling of the show. I'm sick of it because it's every Raw, every SmackDown. First, it was Saturday night's main event was the main offender. Then Raw and SmackDown just get worse and worse. Now it's creeping into PLEs more and more. No wonder they have these 4-match PLEs. When I saw 7 matches, I was like, well, at least, they're going to go longer, it's Mania. But no, they just do their best to give you, squeeze every fucking drop of cash. They're increasing cash prices. Squeeze everything out of you, but give you less. Supply and demand. There's more demand than ever. They're supplying fucking less than ever. Fuck them. Fuck TKO. Sell up. Or get the fuck out. The sad part is, well, everyone knows when they do eventually sell, they're going to sell up to the sold. And then what? And then fucking what? Especially political landscape right now of what America do in the Middle East. Is that even going to be safe? It would not surprise me if they relocated them to Saudi Arabia if they ever did that. They would. 100%. Or they'd split it. They'd have a WWE Saudi base and a WWE USA base, or the normal one. They go in USA, but then they tour out. So, can you imagine if they were split by brand or not? Holy fuck! It's like Raw stays in based in USA, but we'll move SmackDown to Saudi. Oh god! There's rumors Tony Khan made a bid for WWE many years ago. Wouldn't have been good if he bought it. Probably even better TKO, but still wouldn't have been good because he's a shit booker as well. Hit Darby Allin squash MJF this week. For fuck's sake. Who else is there, man? There's got to be someone out there. Hire me, you fucks. I would do it happily. Jesus Christ, I didn't care. I'm not going to be one of these fucking content creators who goes on, begs for a job at AEW or whatever. I'm a new content creator, I do this shit for fun for 5 years at best. However, the point I'm making here is any fucking random, any fucking layman, anyone in that crowd tonight, anyone who understands wrestling in the teentiest degree can see what the fucking problem is. It's corporate greed is killing the show. Completely killing. I'm so dumb. I'm really dumb. I'm a patient person. I'm not one of those people who despise adverts within reason. I mainly watch YouTube. I spam the shit out of YouTube. YouTube's full of ads now. Good God. You have a lot of them. I don't mind. Like, I understand the way of the world. I understand why adverts has to exist. But on WrestleMania, basically, God, how long was it? 1 hour 25 in-ring action, and you had all the other bullshit time WWE waste in a 4-hour show. I would say at least an hour and a half of that 4-hour show was just commercial break. I would say at least. And then about another hour, 5 minutes was just other bullshit. Entrances and whatever the fuck. So it's over a third of the show is outbreaks. I would love someone to actually take the show I screened and time this shit out. See how long we actually had in terms of outbreak. I may even Google this up. Anyway, it's 5:42 a.m. It's getting late, aren't I? You see. I'm going to bed. I'll watch night 2. I'll review night 2, maybe. But you can tell I'm pissed off. I've managed to go. This is the longest review I've ever done, I think. 2 hours, 23 minutes. Longer than the in-ring action tonight. And there was barely any actual, ring action to comment on. Most of it was just ranting about TKO being shit. You're losing a fan, slowly but surely. WWE. I don't know if I can even stomach AEW. God, that's even worse, isn't it? So many talented pro wrestlers nowadays. It's such a shame because entire careers, an entire generation is going to waste. There are no good companies. No one is good right now. AEW is shit. WWE is shit. Maybe even worse because At least AEW try and show wrestling. They give you action. TNA is just lol TNA. Like they always shoot themselves in the foot. Ring of Honor's dead. It's under the AEW umbrella now. So is New Japan. Triple A's under the WWE umbrella. It's become a monopoly of two companies. WWE partnered with TNA, who were so fucking petty. They even pulled MJF versus Nick Nemeth recently. Because you can't have Nick Nemeth go up against an AEW guy, no wrestle world champ. Even though MJF's fucking great, he's the best heel in wrestling today. So what is there? There's no alternative. You just gotta hope WWE's better. Bro, I attributed very little blame to Triple H's creative team tonight. There were some mistakes, some questionable decisions, but I feel like that main event was just course correcting. Ari Emanuel and Pat McAfee's interference on it and stain upon that main event. Maybe they actually go back to telling the actual story between Cody and Randy now, rather than this fucking I want to save wrestling from Cody Rhodes bullshit that I just fucking crucified in my prediction video. The fuck was that? I'm done. I need to get to sleep so I can get up bright and early tomorrow. Watch night 2. I had real high hopes for this 6-man tag match, but they're probably going to be given 10 minutes. What the fuck can they can do? No, I don't know. But I'm really excited for Ober. Rare Jade is going to be a car crash, let's face it. I'm just interested to see what the result will be. Dom Finn should be fun. Trick Willie, Sammy. I'm seated for that one. It's going to be a banger, I think. Nah, the main event should be real. Just please, TKO. Cut your fucking ads and give them longer than 8 minutes. I cannot believe 2026 multi-billion dollar company have just sat through fucking 8-minute WrestleMania matches all night. Fuck off. I give the show a 5 out of 10, and I think that's been generous. But tonight, man, I am on the performer's side. I do not blame the talent. I feel so bad for you guys. You wait all year for Mania, the big show. Hyped, oh, my own Mania. Yes, I'm on Mania. I've got this feud. All right, really excited. Let's get going. Let's get going. Day of the fucking event. You get there. All right, match producer. How long do we give him today? 7 minutes, I hear. Yay. What can we do with 7 minutes? Oh, I don't fucking know. Maybe ask Randy to cut his entrance short. I don't want to blame Randy. He's great. Fuck this company, though. Fuck them. Bring back Vince. I don't even care anymore. This motherfucker at least did not. He gave us action. We didn't have an hour and a half of fucking dead time. Of fucking nothing. Just adverts. And then another hour. Fucking nothing but entrances. And all this bullshit. And half of them is shit anyway. Oh, I've got to listen to more of Liv Morgan's shit new entrance theme. Yay. Oh, I watch LA Knight. Drive in. Fucking 4x4. Yay. Yeah. It's not their fault. They're given what they're given. Let me know your thought, guys. I'm gonna go. Let's just hope night 2 is. I mean, it can't get much worse, can it?